welcome. Since I'm majorly an art student, I get to study people who passed and have a whole lot of art from years past. I don't really get to talk about artists from this year or while I'm alive, so I want to spend some time to talk about one of the artists that I like. The artist that I want to focus on today is Nicholas Cole, specifically the work he's done for the game Disney Lorcana. For those who are unaware, Lorcana is a trading card game put on by Ravensburger, which uses the mythos of Disney characters. So we're talking about Mickey Mouse, Elsa, etc., etc. Cole was brought on to the game for the very first set called The First Chapter, and has done popular characters, some of which will be shown off today. Around the time when the first set was about to be released, he went on a podcast put on by the YouTubers The Illuminateers to talk about some of the work that he made for the set. One of the first questions that he was asked is, how does it feel about handling these characters? He mentioned that he felt like a caretaker of these characters, wanting to respect the source material that they came from. This can be seen in one of the cards that he made, called Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer. Now, this is a reimagined version of the sorcerer Mickey, and he stayed true to the character by focusing in on things like this version of Mickey having magical powers and commanding brooms. But he changed this character by taking away the famous hat that is also often associated with Sorcerer Mickey, giving him this purple cloak and this powerful staff. This still conveys Sorcerer Mickey, but this puts his own spin with this character. Another question he was asked during this interview was, how does he build the scenery around these characters? He said it depends on the card, like with the card Aladdin Heroic Outlaw, where it shows Aladdin, but the scenery around him isn't something you would typically see in his movie. But based on the architecture seen in Agrabah, this inspired scenery makes Aladdin feel like he's actually in his movie, despite the fact that the scenery isn't straight from his film. Lastly, he was asked about if there was any special character he wanted to portray in the world of Lorcana. He mentioned Powerline from the Goofy movie. And in the latest set at the time of this recording, Set 9, he got to do such thing with the card Powerline World's Greatest Rockstar. Now this brings together the two things that we talked about previously, staying true to the character and putting an imaginative spin on things like the scenery. First off, Cole stayed true to the character by keeping him a famous rock star, but putting his own spin by giving him special 90s inspired clothing and a brand new guitar. And he builds out the scenery of the card by making a sort of recreation of the stage featured in one of the music videos that he is featured in, Eye to Eye. This isn't the exact stage that he performed that musical number in, but inspired by it to fill out the scene. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at some of these alternate versions of these popular Disney characters, and I thank you for watching.